All right, I'm gonna move the, need 5 2/12/16s. And I'm gonna move those into place, which is gonna be fun. Morning, everybody. Today I'm going to be working on the barn. I'm really trying to figure out is how to get some scaffolding over here, and how I'm going to get, these are 10 feet long, if you may remember from a previous video. And I was going to, much like I did on the first side, I was going to basically put up my floor joists, just a couple of floor joists that run across, and there are going to be 2x12s. And they're 14 feet long, and I can run them across, you know, so that I can roll my beam down to it, right? That's how I did the previous one. That's how I want to do this one as well. Problem that I'm running into is, you know, this is really tall. So these columns, again, are 10 feet. And then on the back side, you know, it's 5 courses to 3.5 feet plus, you know, my 10 feet. So it's pretty high up. How do I build scaffolding up here, support it, provide stability? You know, a couple of floor joists across, and to make it safe and to be able to get up and down as well. Building on a hill is not as easy as it is building flat, and it's also not as easy when you're, you know, not as experienced as some people are. I have a little bit of experience doing this. My experience is right here. So now I got to duplicate that over here and hopefully make it better, but it also is because it's taller, it's scarier. All right, so I figured out what I'm going to do here. I decided I'd run into the box store and get my girts that I need for the sides. The reason I had to pick up some is because what I already owned was not quite right, and I wasn't thinking well enough. And when I space these guys out, there's approximately an 8-foot gap in between each one, but unfortunately you can't, you know, put an 8-foot board across there. So I need 8.5 to fit, to overlap on my columns. So I could cut 10s down, or what I ended up doing is buying 104 and 5/8 2x4s for this part. They were only $7.50 each. Prices are changing again. I know that they're going to be going down for all of you who are waiting for that to happen. If you haven't noticed, the lumber futures have tanked. So prices are going to come down. So anyway, I had to buy 20 of them. The bottom one, I do have 2x6 pressure treated that I had before that was going to be specifically used for the bottom course. And then my other courses are going to be spaced 2 feet apart all the way up to the top. We're going to start off, kick off that generator and start moving on this. David. That was not wise. Just a little crooked. Shouldn't be surprising to anybody. one. 4 more to go. Okay, I got my columns all plumbed, double checked, made some adjustments, so we're good there. My plan of attack now, oops, it's a little slippery around here. My plan of attack now, which is change of plans, I'm going to put a 2x12x16 across to the post, which will hang out about 3 feet over the edge approximately, and that's going to be my walk plank. I'm also going to be able to have a walk plank anywhere along this plane here that's about 3 feet down, and that's going to allow me to do all kinds of stuff, and I can leave that up for quite a while, probably until I'm getting ready to put the ceiling in. We'll have to see how long I need it, but I'm going to use 16 footers. I have plenty of them. They're part of the roof system for my my rafters, so they can be here as long as they need to be until we're completely dried in. And then after that's done, then I'm going to put in 14 footers across, and those are going to be my braces or my supports for making the beam. So I'm going to build the beam up here, and then I'm going to roll it out across to the columns. So that's going to take a little bit of time. Right now I'm just hauling my 2x10s over, throwing them up here on the new floor that we finished yesterday, and see how I feel from there. These 16s are heavy. By the way, I got a new pair of gloves. These are, you know, all leather, blah, blah, blah. They've actually worked really well. I'll let you know how well they hold up, which is a totally different story. This should find metal. Those are heavy, really heavy. All right, I'm gonna move the, need 5 2x12/16s. I'm gonna move those into place, which is gonna be fun. Morning, everybody. Well, yet another day at the barn build, and the other day when I was working on my Girts, I ran into a little problem. I'm of the opinion that if I have a Girt that measures some distance here, right, whatever that happens to be, the distance between the bottom one, the length of the Girt at the bottom should be the same as the length of the Girt at the top, right? No matter how you look at it, the distance from column A to column B is X, right? And that distance should remain the same all the way up your column. So what I did was I cut all the girts for this column and a couple others, but I realized once I got up high enough that I had a little problem in that I was off by, we'll call that a ½ inch for fun. And then as I put my level on it, I realized, well, they're off just a hair. So what I've done is I pulled the girts off a number of spots. I still have some girts down here, so I'm going to come back and measure these guys. But these two sections here, I pulled down so I can move them you know, back and forth. I can move them any direction I want at this point. So they've been loosened up, and I just need to get them dead plumb so that I will not have a variation in the top. So that's where I'm at for the day, and just got to make this happen. All right, I got these back up. These guys are all supported. Got them all spaced correctly. This is plumb and happy. This post, on the other hand, is leaning just a little bit. And these other two guys are actually pretty good. This one being really good. All right, so bottom wall's done, as you just saw, which is exciting. Well, done. I still have to do a few more pieces, but it's done enough. All my columns are plumb, and I have my pieces all ready to go and cut for the very top row, the top layer of Girts, top row of Girts. So my very top row, I have all these angles sticking here. Those are the pieces that are already cut for it. So now we get the perspective from up here. I've got my beam that I've been laying out, trying to avoid my problem that I had last time with too many seams in one span. Thankfully I was able to solve the problem by simply moving the beam down, so that was kind of nice. But my columns at the bottom, let's explain this a little different. So the first columns, the center columns that I put in, are basically spaced 8 foot on centers, and I had just this last 4 footer to put in. So it basically, what I did was put this, you know, I have my 8 foot on center here, go in that direction, 8 foot on centers. All right, I had one that I needed right at the end, so that's what this guy is the very end, and then this one had to be in line with my floor. So that's why it was where it is. So the span here and the span there are under 8 feet on center. On the far end though, I have, you know, 5 columns spread across 4 spaces, and it's 34 feet long, right? So what I end up doing is just dividing it up. What I ended up having was 8 feet in between each column. All right, this last one's a little less than 8 feet, but I had 8 feet in between each column, and I had 8.5 feet on center, more or less. So my 8.5 foot on center gave me my extra 2 feet that I needed, or almost 2 feet at the very end. So that worked out great, but that isn't going to work out for doing the math for my column this time. So what I need to do is figure out my layout. Let's just hope I can get it figured out today, but I'm pretty close. Anyway, I appreciate all you guys tuning in and watching all of our videos. It's great sharing the stuff with you, great sharing the content. If you are enjoying it, please hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up. What else is there? Make a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. What what you think or don't think, or have an opinion of or don't have an opinion of. But don't feel bashful to share down in the comments what's going on in your mind. Thanks again, and you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day.